video, then of course we are doing our championship predictions today. Of course, I'm joined by a special guest, Joe here. He will say his, of course, predictions when I say mine. So, bottom, let's get into our championship table then. So, bottom of the league, I have went with the team who are already bottom. I'm going to go Wigan. I just think, I don't know with Wigan, they can stay up, but I just don't think they will because they are picking up the points, but they ain't getting the wins. So yeah, I think Wigan are bottom. So I'm on to Joe.
Yeah, I've gone with Wigan as well. I think, like you say, it's between Wigan or a team in 23rd, battling out who's going to get the bottom, but I just think Wigan. I think their team's not ready for the championship, and obviously sacking Liam Richardson proved them costly as well.
Yeah, so we move on to then 23rd place then. Of when with a team who are already 23rd, I've went with Blackpool. I just don't think they'll stay up. Yes, they've got a big game this weekend against Wigan. And if they pick up the win there, they will probably go first. They'll be about 5 points behind that from the relegation zone. So it's a big game for Blackpool this weekend at home as well against Wigan. They've sacked Mick McCarthy. So yeah, I think Blackpool will be 23rd. I can't see it happening, if you know what I mean. I just don't think they will stay up. I feel bad for Blackpool. Blackpool fans 1-0 quickly back now. Will he go there? We'll wait and see. But yeah, I think Blackpool 23rd. On to Joe.
Yeah, it's the same really. I think it'd be Blackpool. I think, like you say, it'll be a big game at the weekend. You know, whoever wins, could they move forward a bit and maybe not get bottom? But I think with Blackpool I think their time has been up for a while, and now they've been sort of know what they're up to, what their game plan is, style of play, and everything. So they've been caught out.
Yeah, so my first team who's going down there in 22nd place, I've went with Cardiff. I just think Cardiff will just go down. I think they're only a point ahead of that bottom three, and I don't think they're a team what can stay. They've got Sheffield United away on the weekend. Um, so yeah, I think they'll lose that. Of course, Chris Wilder could be getting the sack, so they could have a new manager in by then. Then they've got Stoke at home. Again, 3 big games in a row. Then they've got Watford away. I'll say that's a big game as well. Because Watford are playing really good at a minute. Then they've got Huddersfield at home. Again, big game. Huddersfield are playing good. And Burnley away in that game of the season. So, really, I think Cardiff are getting 1 point out of the season. And I think they will be the third team to go down. On to Joe.
My 22nd, I've gone with Reading. I just think, obviously, with the players they've got, the only thing that's hindering at the moment is the points deduction. Losing the manager like Paul Ince, I think he did everything he could, and I think it came up to it. That the time's running up, and I feel sorry for the Reading fans as well. So 22nd, I've gone with Reading.
Just staying up then in 21st place, I've went with Reading. I just think they'll just stay up. They've got Burnley at home on the weekend. I think, of course, they will get slapped. They do have big games. They've got Burnley. I think that's a loss. They've got Luton. That's a loss. Then they've got Coventry. That's a loss. Then they've got a big game against Wigan. So a big game then Huddersfield last game of the season. So I think Reading will just stay up. They'll probably get one win and one draw to try and stay up here, so I think they'll finish 21st place.
My 21st is I've gone with. Sorry. My 21st I've gone with Cardiff. I think they'll just edge it. I think compared to Reading, I feel like Reading's got the hardest fixture. I think Cardiff can get something from any of these fixtures that you basically just mentioned. I think maybe the Rotherham one. Obviously, they were winning 1-0 at Rotherham till obviously the rain came down. Obviously, it got abandoned. So I feel like they could get something from that. But yeah, I feel like Cardiff. I do worry for Cardiff, but I feel like are least likely to survive. I think they won't get any points deduction, but Reading will. So that's my reason behind it.
I know we're doing our championship table, guys, but breaking news has just came out in the Premier League that Wilfried Zaha will be leaving Crystal Palace this summer, as Arsenal, Bayern Munich, and Dortmund are all linked with Man. So really leave Crystal Palace this summer. But get back on to our championship table. In 20th place, after with QPR, I just think they ain't good. They've been really shocking this season. Yes, they came from 2-0 down at West Brom to 4-2-2, but West Brom are just a tip-top team. But their last win was 11th of March at home against Watford. But I don't think they've won away since 2022 against Preston with a 1-0 win. QPR, I feel bad for them because I do like their team. I think they've got good players like Tim Inwell on loan from, of course, Aston Villa. But they've got big end, they've got Coventry, Norwich, Burnley, Stoke, and Bristol City. So they've got tough games there. So I do think they'll stay up. They'll have enough, but I think they'll finish 20th place.
I've gone with QPR as well. I do agree with you, Bailey. I think you look at that team and you think there's no way that team should be around near the relegation zone. What is more of a shocking sort of stat, it was around October, I can't remember the actual day, but they were top. I remember they were top of the thing with Michael Beale, former, obviously, Aston Villa assistant. But then he's obviously gone. They had Neil Critchley in, he's gone. And then now they've got Gareth Ainsworth, and it's such a massive, big ask for him. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Michael Beale done really well at Rangers. I think he only lost his first game against Celtic. That was his first loss on the weekend. So, and I think Rangers was swabbed in that game, in my opinion.
I can't say anything, to be honest with you.
But I think of course he did do well with QPR. And if he stayed there, will QPR be near the bottom three? Probably not. 19 offer with one from them. They're sitting on 45 points. Everyone expected them to finish bottom of the league at the start of the season. That was me as well, Joe. Watford, they've been really good. They've got big ends. They've got, of course, Luton, Burnley, Bristol City, Cardiff City, Middlesbrough, and Wigan. So I do think they'll stay up, but I think they'll finish 19th place. They've got good players. I think what's that player called? Of course, they did sell the main striker to Ipswich last season, Ledapo, and they sold two good players to Sheffield Wednesday. So everyone expected them to go down without them, but no, they've actually done quite well. They've got, of course, I like that Bailey White, isn't it? I think his name is. I think he's a solid player. They've got some more good players like Tom Evans. So, I think Rotherham will finish 19th place.
Yeah, I've gone for Rotherham 19th as well. I think we both put Rotherham at the bottom, and I think if you're a Rotherham fan, you stay in another season in the Championship, you take that. In the January they did lose Daniel Bielsa. I think he's joined Middlesbrough. And they still got someone like Ogbien, I think that's his name. He's like a Irish speedy winger sort of player. So he might be out. His contract's running down now, so he's going to go on a free. So I do think with Rotherham they've got a lot of to do in terms of transfers, and you got to give Matt Taylor credit. You know, he managed Exeter, so he's come in and he's done steady the ship and he stayed them away from relegation. So fair play.
Yeah, 18th place then off went with Huddersfield. Then they are sitting on 43 points. Huddersfield, they've been really solid last couple of games. I watched them against Blackburn, unlucky on bottling that lead, but they're just beating top teams and drawing against top teams now. Of course, they're they're about 5 games unbeaten. They're drawn against Norwich 1-1. They beat Millwall 1-0. They beat Middlesbrough 4-2. They beat Watford 3-2, and they're drawn against Blackburn 2-2. So yeah, I think Neil Warnock, got them going, and I do think they'll finish 18th place. They've got, of course, Swansea on the weekend. I think that will be drawn. Then they've got Sunderland, Cardiff, Sheffield United, and Reading last game of the season. So we'll see what Neil Warnock brings to this team, but I think they'll finish 18th place.
My 18th place I've gone with is Swansea. I just feel like with Swansea, Russell Mine, I still think he's under. What?
You went with Swansea?
Yeah, mate. I mean, there's Richie 16th, so you never know.
They're sitting 14.
Are they 14? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I feel like Russell Mine is the deciding factor in it. So I think they rely too much on Joel Porro. Sorry, any Swansea fans who watch this, but that's the way I see it. But yeah, I've gone with Swansea 18th.
17th place then ultimately for Hull City. They sit on 52 points then. Of course, they came up with a 4-4 against bloody Sunderland, and of course beating Millwall 1-0. They are 4 games unbeaten, and they've got tough games. They've got Blackburn, Middlesbrough, Watford, Swansea, and Luton. So big games there. So I think Hull will finish 17th place. I think they've got a quality manager. They've got good. Did they pretty sure Hull manager used to manage Peterborough?
Liam Senior.
Yeah.
I know it's Derby, but I can't remember the other ones.
So yeah, they've got that goalkeeper from Newcastle. Is it
Darlow.
Yeah, they've got him. I don't know if he starts games, so.
He started against Sunderland, I'm pretty sure.
Did he? But they've got Alfie Jones. They've got that Topel Vijorg, I think his name is, from Portugal. Good player. But yeah, I think Hull will finish 17th place.
My 17th place is I've gone for Bailey's favourite Midlands team. I've gone with Birmingham.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, with Birmingham, I feel like they've, again, John Eustace at them. I think they're just steadied the ship with Chong in there, that Hannibal, 2 players. I mean, Hannibal's on loan, but I think they're all right. They've got Trusty at the back. They've got John Ruddy, veteran in terms of the Championship, knows what he's doing. So yeah, I'm going with 17th. I've gone with Birmingham.
Yeah, so in 16th place then, off went with Birmingham City. I think they will finish 16th. They're sitting on 50 points. They do have a good player like Chong. They've got former Aston Villa players, got Ogun, they've got another former Aston Villa player, Gary Garner. So they like taking the Villa players, don't they? But they've got tough games coming up, to be fair. Sunderland away, I think that's a tough place to go. Then they've got Millwall away again. Millwall are just that team. Will they get playoffs? I'm not too sure because they've been an awful run of form lately. But then they've got Blackpool at home. I think that's a must-win. Then they've got Coventry and Sheffield United. So they've got a tough game, but I think they will finish 16th. I hope they go down. They could still go down, but I don't think they will. So I think they'll finish 16th place.
My 16th place, Barry, you already mentioned this team. I've gone with Huddersfield. I think the reason why Neil Warnock effect, I think ever since he's come in appointment, I think it's been a brilliant news for Huddersfield, and I think that's what they needed. Because look, you got to think, last season they were in the playoff final against Forest, and then look where they are now. It just shows you the levels of the Championship in terms of the manager and everything else. And I think with Neil Warnock coming in, I think will help them go up a little bit more.
Yeah, they got really angry when their manager left them, and now he's doing really bad at West Brom. I wouldn't blame him at West Brom. No, I'll blame that owners.
I was to say it's the owners with West Brom, mate. I don't think it's him.
But yeah. 15th place off with Swansea City. You've of course already said. I think you got 17th or 16th.
18th.
But I think Swansea will finish 15th. I like Swansea. I think they are a solid team. I did predict to finish 7th with Joe at the start of the season, and that was coming near my predictions. But then they dropped off, and because you went mental at me when I put 7th.
Yeah.
But they've got Huddersfield, Preston, Norwich, Hull, West Brom. They've got tough game, but I think they will finish 15th place. I think they'll just be around there and maybe push for playoffs next season. I don't think Russell Martin is that good, of course, good manager, but they've got good players like Perot, Jamie Patterson. The key came from Bristol. So yeah, they've got good players. So I think Swansea will finish 15th place.
My 15th place, like I say, you've already mentioned them. I've gone with Hull. I think they've got decent sort of players there. Like you say, obviously like the Darlows. They've got Jacob Greaves, who again, he's out of his contract in the summer. You've got George Honeyman as well, and you've got Estupinan. And I think that's the name Tufan, used to play for Watford. He scored 2 goals against Sunderland, so I think that 4-4 draw may give them confidence leading up to the final games of the season.
Okay, 14th place then off went with Bristol City then. I think they've been a solid team lately. I think they'll finish 14th, they're 13th at the minute. Of course, they did come up with the 2-2 against Middlesbrough. They're 3 games unbeaten. They was the first team to end Stoke City unbeaten 1. And yeah, I think they've got, of course, Watford. He can beat Watford. Sheffield United is a tough one. Then they've got Watford, Burnley, and QPR. So I think Bristol City will finish 14th place. But yeah.
My 14th place I've gone with Stoke. Nothing bad about them, it's just more, they're just there. And I think obviously, if you're a Stoke fan, you kind of expect to be a bit more higher than 14th, but it's just that sort of season that Stoke have been on. It's just like they were near the bottom, they were near 19 to 20 if I remember, when Stevenage played them, and then obviously since then, I think they beat Sunderland 5-1, I think it was. They got a good win against Blackburn. But yeah, I think Stoke will get 14th in my opinion.
Okay, 13th place then Oxford with Watford. Watford are just a poor team in my opinion. They've been really shocking this season. They're about to sack another manager and another one.
Another one?
So Chris Wilder is under pressure. They've got tough games as well. Bristol City, doubt to lose that. Cardiff probably win that. Hull lose that. Sunderland lose that. Stoke probably lose that. So I think they can only get about 4 points out of these last couple of games. But I think Watford will finish 13th in my opinion.
Yeah, I've agreed with you, mate. I've gone with Watford 13th as well. I just think at the end of the day, it's a bit same with West Brom in a way, because the owners for me just lack ambition and things like that. And what they do for signings wise, they go for their sister club like Udinese, and rely on them, which at the end of the day is all well and good. But if you're a Watford, that last season in the Prem, But now they've obviously apparently going to sack Chris Wilder, a proven Championship manager. But it's just turmoil at Watford, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. In 12th place, then you've already said the team is Stoke City. Then I think Stoke City will finish 12th, and they're sitting 15th at the minute. They've been on, of course, good form though. They did come up with a 0-0 over their Midlands rivals, Birmingham City. They've got another Midlands rivals this weekend, taking on West Bromwich Albion. So if they win that, it'll be good. Then they've got Wigan, Cardiff, QPR, three teams who are probably nearly going down. Then of course they got Watford last game of the season. So yeah, I think Stoke will finish 12th in my opinion. I think they've got good players, a good manager, and if they finish 12th this season, they could fight for top 10 playoffs next season. So I think Stoke will finish 12th place.
My 12th is I've gone with Bristol City. Like, you've already mentioned these. And I think Bristol City, for me, when I've watched them against that City, I thought they gave it a good go. I'm really impressed with Alex Scott. I think that's his name. I think he's a great player. He's got such a good future ahead of him. If he plays for Bristol City or not, I'm pretty sure Premier League clubs will be after him in the summer, I reckon. Yeah, and I think he's such a good player. Yes, I just think Nigel Pearson, fair play to him. Done well there. I thought he was going to go this season, not because obviously the players and not himself, but I just thought the lack of investment. But he's bedding in the youth, and I think fair play to him. So 12th, I've gone Bristol City.
Yeah. So 11th place, I've went with West Brom. West Brom are of course in 11th now, and they're on 57 points. I don't think their manager will get sacked because I think it's the owners and like the board and all that. So yeah, but they've got Stoke on the weekend, then Blackpool, then Sunderland, then Sheffield United, then Norwich and Swansea. So tough games in there who are fighting for playoffs and who are fighting for probably staying up. So I think West Brom will finish 11th. They've got a good manager, good former Huddersfield manager, and of course they've got good players. I like Jed Wallace, I like John Swift as well. They're two quality players, and I like that striker in there, Doik.
Yeah. I don't know.
Deco Doik or something.
Yeah, they got it from Barnsley. Well, he was on loan at Barnsley last season.
Yeah, he's a quality player, and they've got, of course, from Aston Villa boy, Mark Albrighton. Don't know if he's done well for him because I really watch West Brom, West Brom fans. But yeah, I think they'll finish 11th.
Yeah, I agree. I've gone with West Brom. I've gone with 11th for them. I just think, like I say, it's not the players, it's not the manager, it's the owner. He needs. I think obviously there was a strike where they had a protest before the QPR game. But yeah, I mean they're good players, like you say, Swift, Wallace, even someone like DK, Carlo Grant, Thomas Asante. They got from Salford in January. Good players. But yeah, I think as soon as they get rid of the owner, I think they'll be a massive threat towards the championship.
Yeah. So move on to 10th place then. Off with a team who are already 10th, Sunderland. They're sitting on 58 points. They've got quality players. They did beat, of course, Cardiff 1-0. They are 4 games unbeaten. They're just a quality team. They could get playoffs. They ain't many points off. I think they're probably about 4 points off the playoffs. So it's so tough in them. But I just think Sunderland will finish 10th. They're really good. I think they ain't good at home, to be fair. They're the 5th best away team and the 19th best home team. So they're better away than home. But I think Sunderland will finish 10th place.
My 10th is I've gone with Coventry. I think Mark Robbins has done a really good job. I think we need to give him some recognition on that, especially what's going on in terms of obviously the Rico Arena. obviously with the Mike Ashley thing and things like that. But he's still got them, like the players working for him and still believing, like Victor Goreques, Gustavo Haber, all those sort of players still at the club. And yeah, I've gone with Coventry 10th.
Alright then. So, ninth place then, I've went with Norwich. I think Norwich will finish ninth. I don't know with Norwich. They're just, they're like, they haven't been that good. Yes, they got a 0-0 against Rotherham last time out, and good. 2 clean sheets on the bounce for them now. But Norwich been really poor this season. Are they gonna get the playoffs? I'm not too sure, but I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think Norwich will finish ninth. They've got a good team of Pookie who is set to leave at the end of the season, so they need to get another striker in for next season. So I think Norwich will finish ninth place.
In ninth, I've gone with Sunderland. I feel like they've, like you say, I think they've got a brilliant bunch of talent in that team. Like you've got Gelhardt, you've got Diallo, Jack Clark as well. I feel like he might be going in the summer as well. I think there've been talks of him going to Palace. Obviously, if Sahar goes, which is more than likely, so maybe Jack Clark goes there. But overall, I've been impressed with Sunderland with Tony Mowbray taking over from Alex Neil. Done really well for himself, so I think Sunderland in ninth.
Okay, in eighth place then I've went with Coventry then. You put 10th, but I think Coventry will finish eighth. I just think they've got. I think if they keep winning, they can get playoffs. I did back Coventry to finish eighth at the end, at the start of the season, and I think they will finish eighth here. They've got, of course, QPR, Blackburn, Reading, Birmingham, and Middlesbrough. They can get at least 3 wins out of them. So yeah, I think Coventry will finish eighth place.
Eighth, I've gone with Norwich. I just think Norwich is a hard one in a way because they can look so good in one game and then look really bad in the other. So there's no really consistency. Obviously, they had another Huddersfield manager, David Wagner. I think you just give him to the summer, see what he does in terms of his players, and then they just go from there, I think. So yeah, I'm going with Norwich 8th.
Okay, in seventh place then I've gone with Blackburn Rovers then. I think Blackburn will, of course, they're sixth at the minute on 62 points, but I think they will finish in seventh place. I just don't think Blackburn, they always bottle playoffs, and I think they will do it again. They haven't won for 3 games now with 2 losses and 1 draw, so I think they will bottle this, and yeah, I think Blackburn, will finish. They do have tough games coming up. They have, of course, Hull, Coventry, Preston, Burnley, Luton, Millwall. So this why I don't think they will finish in them playoff because they're all tough games. So I think they'll finish 7th.
My 7th I went for is Millwall. I feel like, yes, they're 4th or 5th, I think. But like you say, they're not in good form at the moment. And Millwall, like, for me, I like the Blackburn. I feel like they might drop out the playoffs.
They're on the same points of 7th as well. So it's so tough in there.
It's just why the Championship's the best league. But yeah, I've gone with Millwall 7th on that one.
Okay, in 6th place, I've went with Preston then. I think Preston will get playoffs. I just think they've been so solid, man. They're a class team. They're 3 games unbeaten with 3 wins. Of course, beating Reading with a last-minute goal last weekend, 2-1 against Reading. And of course, they beat QPR 2-0 and drawn against beat Blackpool 3-1. Then yeah, I just think Preston are really on good form. They've got Millwall this weekend as well, so that will be a big game between both teams. Then they've got Swansea, Blackburn, Sheffield United and Sunderland. So I think Preston will get playoffs, but I think they'll just edge it, finish 6th in this table.
I've also gone with Preston. I feel like Preston, for me, are like the team that go under the radar, I think, in my opinion, of this season. I think they're just solid at the back. Attack, they've got that cannon they got from Everton in January. He's firing all cylinders. I don't know if you're a Premier League youngster, go to Preston, you develop. I mean, look at Cameron Archer. That's a prime example. And yeah, there's I think his name's Andy Cannon or Tom Cannon. I can't really remember, but yeah. So look out for Preston. I think they'll be in the playoffs.
In fifth place, then Arsenal with the Millwall. Then, yeah. So I do think Millwall will get playoffs. I know where you're coming from. They haven't been on good form lately, but I just think they get one win, and I think they'll get it. They've got Preston. I think if they take a point against Preston, to be honest, they need to beat Preston. Both teams need to win because it's so tough in there. They could be out of playoffs even with a point. And then they've got Birmingham. I think that's a must win. Then Wigan, then Blackpool. So 3 must wins there. So I think Millwall, will get 5th place. But it won't surprise me if they finish out of playoffs.
My 5th place, I went with Blackburn. I feel like with the manager Giles Donald Thomason, I think they will do just about hang in there. Obviously, they've got the firepower in Brereton Diaz. Obviously, he's kind of in or out in the summer. I just feel like they've got a heart and fight in them. Obviously, they drew to Huddersfield, so I feel like Blackburn will just survive in 5th place.
Okay, 4th place then, Arsenal with Middlesbrough then. They sit on 68 points. Everyone expected them to get promoted, but they've dropped off so massively. I wanted them to go up. They could still go up through playoffs, but they've got Norwich on Friday night, what I'll probably watch. And that will be a tough game. If they win that, then they could be in that promotion race again. But yeah, and then they've got Hull, Luton, Rotherham, and Coventry. So I think Middlesbrough will get playoffs, but I think they'll finish 4th place.
Yeah, I've got Middlesbrough as well, 4th place. I thought a couple of games ago they were looking likely to put pressure on Sheffield United, but like you say, they've kind of dipped in a way. Especially obviously they lose into Burnley at home. They drew to Bristol City. So yeah, I've got Middlesbrough 4th in that one.
Okay, 3rd place then, from both leagues, I'm from Sheffield United. Yes, I think Sheffield United will finish 3rd place. They are only 5 points ahead of 3rd place, so it's so tough in there. But I just think Sheffield United will drop off. It won't surprise me if they lose against Cardiff, because Sheffield United are Sheffield United. They're like, you know what Sheffield United are like. They can lose against bad teams. They've got Bristol City coming up as well. Then I'm pretty sure in the FA Cup semi-finals it's still Championship on, if I'm right. So if Luton win that, then they could be really pushing for it. So yeah, I think Sheffield United will finish 1st place for me. But they've got tough games. They've got a good Billy Sharp, I like him, solid striker. But I think they will finish 1st place.
For my 3rd, I've gone with Luton. I just think they're fair play to Luton. Don't get me wrong, fair play to them. They deserve a lot of credit, especially Rob Edwards. Obviously, got sacked unfairly by Watford, and now he's killing it with Luton. I just think, like I said, we will go on to Sheffield United in a bit. I just feel like Luton will get 3rd, and it's a shame because I don't know if you know this fact, Bailey, but Luton player Polly, Modric, and Panzu, if he gets promoted with Luton, yeah, he's the only player that's gone for all 4 divisions from the National League to the Premier League with the same club.
But 2nd place, I've went with Luton Town then. I think Luton will just get promoted. I think it will be tough. I think it could go down to the last game of the season. But I think Luton will get 2nd place. I like Luton. Imagine their ground in the league, man. Man City going to Luton away. Who else? Aston Villa, Chelsea. Newcastle, Manchester United, Liverpool. Imagine these teams who go to Luton away will just be massive. But Luton, yes, they are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games unbeaten. Their last loss was in February, and that was only a 1-0 loss against Burnley against a penalty, and they went down to 10 men in that game. So, yeah, I think Luton will get second place.
Second place, I've gone with Sheffield United. I think you look at the game against Burnley, they kind of lost their head. Well, not lost their head, but West Fondingham, I still don't get what he was doing in that terms of that game. Should have just let Jack Robinson cleared it, but it is what it is. Obviously, they went down to 10 and then lost 2-0. It'll be interesting what Adam Davis does now, because obviously I think he's got 3 or 4 games now, because obviously Fondingham's got red carded twice, so I think he's out for 4 games. I don't know how the Championship works, but Premier League it's 4. Like you say, they've got that game against Man City in the FA Cup. They've still got a game in hand over Luton, so I feel like that could be really important for them. So, but it depends who it is, of course. But yeah, I'll go with Sheffield United in second.
Their game in is it West Brom? I think it is.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's on the Wednesday night, 26th of April, 8 o'clock kickoff. Yeah, but first, who's gonna be first, John?
I don't know. Who is? I think that's everyone, isn't it?
Burnley for me. we will know it. What is that?
No, I've not said anything, mate.
But yeah. No, I've went with Burnley. They've got a top team. They've got a good manager as well. People think they'll get top 10 in the Premier League next season.